I don't like to do episodes based on negative sides of some of the flight schools. I know it's a must because students need to know what goes down in these cheat schools. But sometimes when you talk about these few bad schools, you're bringing bad reputation to the entire flight school industry. Please understand the main reason I talk about some of these flight schools is to inform you and educate you on few bad schools. So you will search for a great school and become great pilots. Part 1 of this episode based mainly on money, and this episode I will concentrate on other part of how some flight schools scam their students. Overall, money is the main cause for school scam students, but these reasons do not have a direct link with the money.
44 Quebec, we better make a slight left turn out for traffic 20 behind you.
Hello future captain, hope you're doing great. I've been in the industry for 10 years now and been around 300 flight schools in 6 different countries, and I came across thousands of students. So you can imagine how many bad stories I heard in my life. These stories are actually the main reason why I started Compare Flight Training and now my YouTube channel. I added a link on one of the real story of a flight school scam in the description. It happened a few years back, but the storyline that happens all the time. We will talk about the story of that news in recent 2 in more depth. And if any of the scams happen in your life, please mention that on the comment section so we can read and others can read too and to be more careful. Number 5, lie about the surroundings and the atmosphere of the flight school. When I started Compare Flight Training, I spent months just calling flight school and pretend like a student so I can observe and learn how the flight school communicate with students and of course get the details of the flight school at the same time. First I called schools I already visited personally. So when I asked them about the school building and the airport or the location, some of the answers shocked me. Obviously the person behind that call had no idea I have been to that school before. They think I'm a potential student, and to get me come to their school, they will say anything. They will tell you the school building is state of art, but in reality it will be just 2 rooms. I have nothing against small school. In fact, I like small school more than the big school. But no excuse for them to lie about to get students. And they would carry on to tell you how great the airport is with their new landing approaches. Then they go on to tell you their city, if the school based, is the most happening city in the world. And the truth is, most of the time, it's a small airport in the outskirts of a small town. Basically, they will tell you what you want to hear to convince you they are the best choice for you. Make sure you do the research properly. Soon I will do an episode, all the questions that you should ask the flight school, and I will have a couple of flight school and a real flight school phone call as well, so you know what kind of question that you should ask the flight school. Number 4, guaranteed flight time, course fee and instructor. If you ask the flight school, can he guarantee that I finish a training in certain hours, or if the price is fixed for the entire course, and the answer is yes, then you know what kind of school that you're dealing with. Because no school ever can guarantee that you will get your PPL in certain hours. Every student will get their first license in different hours in different countries. In my experience, very few students actually completed their PPO in the minimum requirement hours set by the aviation governing body in their country. Some of them been flying since the age of 5 or 6 with their pilot dad, mom or uncle. Others are just purely gifted kids with the amazing talent of learning skills very quickly. Rest of us, the big proportion of us, just a bit average people willing to work hard though. So it depends on many factors. The flight time will be vary from students to students. So if the flight time can't be fixed, then definitely the course fee can't be fixed either, because it's directly linked. And also if they tell you you will be trained by one instructor throughout the training, then that's a lie too. The way the airline's hiring right now, as soon as the instructor got their required hours to work for an airline, they're gone. It's good for instructor and I'm very happy for them. End of the day, that's their dream to fly for an airline. But as a student, we would like to have the same instructor who understands us and feel comfortable with throughout the training. And school knows us as attractive commitment for students, so they promise you that you will have the same instructor. Yes, sometimes you'll be lucky to have that, but most of the time you won't. So be aware of that. Good schools always will talk you through the hours and the course fee and how it could be different from student to student. So the school that being honest with you, then respect that and go with them rather than the school that makes very unbelievable but very attractive offers to you. The problem is many students actually fall for this lie. So recently I see more and more schools following the wrong route than being honest with their students. Number 3, bending rules. Previous reason is a school tell you a price, and when you finish your training, you would have paid thousands of dollars or pounds or rupees extra. But some schools tell you very cheap price and try to get their students to finish their training within those hours and price. They would bend many rules and laws. You might be thinking, who cares? We get the training in low cost fee, it's all good. Let me give you a few examples, then you tell me, is it good to do so? The school will hire instructors who don't get paid. So basically, you'll be trained by instructor won't get salary, and they're just teaching you to build their hours so they can go back to their own country and get an airline job as soon as they can. I'm not against these instructors. Actually, I have many friends who went through these type of jobs. But I really can't see someone working for free will give 100% effort to their students. Do you? But school finds pilots who's desperate to build their hours and use them to teach others and calling it internship and find a holes in rulebook. Second one is buddy flying. When you build your hours, you can share your course by another pilot and you both get the same hours. It's illegal unless you put a private pilot and an instrument rated pilot who's under the hood. I know I just confused you. Basically, you're required to fly and build hours by yourself. You can fly your friends and family in these hours, that's fine. But some school put 2 students in one plane and let them split the cost, so their course fee is low. There is a reason for you to fly certain hours, for example 100 hours flying for our building for a reason. You need to build that valuable experience. Now you got half of that experience in illegal way. I know as a student you will take that for saving money, but I'm telling you, it's not worth it down the line. Number 2, connection with airline. When I work with flight school or even nowadays when I speak to students, almost all the students' first big questions are, will you get us a job on completion of the training? I understand you're spending so much money and most of them could be from bank loans maybe. So you expect to get that money back as soon as you finish your training. But don't you think it's the same, for an example, asking a university for an engineering job after you finish your degree? It's not their duty. They are flight schools and providing you with excellent training is their job. From students' point of view, I can't blame them to expect and hope for some kind of help from the school to get their first pilot job. But some schools completely misuse that to get students. As I mentioned earlier in this episode about this story, I have a link in the description, please read it. This guy promised around 100 students for an airline job when they complete their training. Worst part, he asked the students to pay entire course fee up front before you start the training. Then the school went bankrupt. Most of the students paid around $40,000 up front because of the promise he made with airline job offer. Let me tell you another story which happened recently. Innocence of these students and lack of knowledge really shocked me to the core. Basically, I met the students and a flight school provided the students with job offer letter with an airline in full paperwork. This job offer doesn't say you will put through for an interview. No. This job offer have a date they will start the job, salary, even the first route they'll be flying as a first officer. Can you believe this? I felt so sorry for these students. So if a school promises you for an airline job, do a full research or call me so we can do the research together if I already don't know about the school. Because there are very few schools actually have a direct connection with airline or cadet program. Usually they are well recognized school because no airline will connect with some small school. Bear in mind the course fee will be almost double for this airline program. So school can be forgiven for any scams. Yes, the scams were listed were big and they're affecting and changing people's lives, but nothing can be big as the next reason. Number one, maintenance and safety. This is not about money we lose as a student. This is life and death situation. Every student comes to the school thinking and hoping they are in safe hands. But if the school failed to provide good maintenance to the aircraft, now you're putting students' life at risk, and no excuse for any school if you are playing with students' life. I understand maintaining a plane's airworthy is one of the most expensive part of running a flight school. Every plane must go through regular inspection in certain hours of flying, then yearly inspection and maintenance. This is not optional. This has to be done, otherwise that plane can't be in the air. But some schools flying plane without no hundred of inspection, and some planes are not airworthy at all. Putting a student in a plane that's not airworthy, not acceptable, and many schools in my experience keep getting away without getting punishment for knowingly putting students' life at risk. Again and again, I can't stress how important to find that good school. Be very careful. I'm trying my best to reach out as many students as I possibly can. If your friend wants to become a pilot, please tell them don't rush into choosing the school. Don't fall for the trap which will be placed by some scam school either on their website or the phone call that you make. Anyway, if you have any questions, you can always contact me on WhatsApp. I do apologize in advance if I take a few hours to reply. As you may know, I have many things going on in my life professionally. Also, I have a 3-month-old daughter. Actually, she doesn't take much time at all. She's such a darling, always sleep. But I will guarantee you that I will guide you and help you throughout the entire journey to a successful aviation career. That's my promise. Good day, future captain.